And we're up. Very cool. Very cool. Here's a mess. I love it. Okay. So I guess for now, we just take our time letting people in. Everybody can slowly join. And I'll set up Crunchyroll for now. And, okay. Hello, 3D model. How's it going? I'm just setting up my Crunchyroll. Ugh, okay, one sec. All right, sorry about that. I had to set up my Crunchyroll just to show it to you guys. I had to set this up really quickly. I forgot the password. My password's on my phone, so I had to turn the phone off so I can. You get it. You get it. Okay. Um. Here, let me see how far I am with the SHIUNJI family before I do anything. Yep, I finished episode 2, so I'm on episode 3. Okay. So before we start anything, last night, like right after I turned off the stream, I guess the Ruka account posted something. So let's go to my account really quick. I initially like freaked out about it. It was kind of funny. I'm just like, oh my god, is Ruka gonna show up? But no, I don't think so. Yeah, I know 3D model. I know. I just felt like right after I finished yesterday, I fucking crashed. I hyper crashed. So, did you guys want me to watch episode 2? I don't mind going through it. I read the chapter for it today, so I guess I could watch episode 2 as well. Or we could start from the beginning. I don't really mind. We could start from the very beginning for Shiyunji family. I don't give a shit. Um, we could even like do all the stuff we didn't plan to do initially. I don't know. Yeah, okay. We'll just start from the top for Shiyunji family then. So from episode 1, we're just gonna watch from there. But first, I wanted to talk about the whole Ruka thing just really quick. So the Ruka account posted one more thing. It says it's raining and it's Ruka with an umbrella. This is kind of weird for some people because they're like, wait, in the current chapter is Kazuya and Chizuru on a date and it's raining and Ruka has an umbrella, so everybody's like, oh my god, is she gonna show up to the date? But then I am not touching the dub. Fuck off. I'm sorry. I'm not touching the dub. All I've heard is bad things about the dub. I don't care. I started it with the dub with the sub. I'm gonna stick with the sub. Um, so yeah, I don't think I think maybe like we're slowly nearing to some sort of reveal for the Ruka thing. I doubt that they made a whole ass Ruka account of just them drawing Ruka stuff. That doesn't feel right. It feels like there's more to this account and there hasn't been a big announcement yet. So yeah, I don't know what to expect from this thing. But yeah, that we got our second image. Okay, so for now, let's go with the Shunji family. I'll go to episode 1. We're gonna watch it from the very beginning. Uh, how do I want to do the timer? How do I want to do the timer? Is there like plus? Can I? Do I have like a Something like a media source. Okay. How did I add Chizuru on here? Image. Okay, so let's see. Display capture. I could do like a hand countdown, but I kind of prefer to just do it differently. A Ruka spinoff seems strange. No source material to base it on, and it would be overshadowed by everything. I literally don't know what it is. It could work thematically speaking, considering Ruka's narrative might end within the story. So giving Ruka her own thing could work. I don't see the problem with that. Okay, so I guess I'll just do a hand countdown, and then you'll know, and I'll have my other hand like be ready to start the episode. Okay, so let me go to it. Just to make sure you can't hear anything, right? Okay, so I'm assuming I played a little clip here. Did you hear anything? Was there any sound? I need to know before I start, just so there's no sound for YouTube to pick up and be pissed about. Okay, so let me know, fellas. Let me know. Was there any sound? Reggie, we're gonna slightly move on from the discussion of any future projects that we may or may not happen, because we have no basis on that at the moment. We have no real concrete information to work with. So we're gonna move on from that for now. I need to know if there was any goddamn sound when I asked if there was sound, so I don't get in trouble with YouTube. Come on, fellas, work with me a little bit here. No sound. It's good. Okay, sounds good. Okay then. With that said, we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Okay. So yeah, the first thing we see is like the shaking hand, and I don't get what that is because that's not in the manga. That's totally different. They use some very colorful visuals here, which is really interesting. I don't. Hmm. Self-made entrepreneur. Pause. Pause. So let's go. I'll show you the screen for now. So they said he's a self-made entrepreneur. What they don't specify, which is weird, is that he made his fortune in a single generation, which by if you know anything about people who are rich is fucking crazy. That doesn't just happen. Almost all the rich people that you know don't just make their fortune in a single generation. That's not really a thing. That doesn't really happen. They've had some way to get money from other ways. You don't just get it, right? That was kind of setting. um can you hear me when you say there's no sound 3D model? Can you hear me? I'm not playing anything. I paused. I'm showing it because I'm not playing anything. But they said like I don't want to go back. I don't want to move where we paused because that would mess it up. Um yeah, okay. So they said that maybe I can like put something. Maybe I can like put something like over this. So it's like not really visible, but you can like kind of see where I am. Mm. This is the manga one. This is just a normal capture. Okay, let me make a scene 5. I'm gonna try to do something a little different, just some way so you know where I am. Change the opacity or use a watermark. Change the opacity. Okay. So maybe this one and then the display. Nope. I don't know how to change the opacity. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay, good. Filters. Properties. Hmm. Hello, welcome, Diego Garcia. Diego Garcia. Um, shit, what can I do to adjust like the opacity here? Filters? Oh, I have some tools. Let me see if I can get it. LUT. Okay, that didn't do anything. Sorry for the sudden hiccups. Welcome to anyone new. I'm just setting up. So, didn't you say the father was intimidating? Maybe he's a yakuza boss. Oh, you talking about their dad? No, he's not a yakuza boss. Reiji intentionally compares him to Elon Musk, in one scene because he buys out like Twitter or some shit, and he names it K. And you see that in like in Arara reading the newspaper. So that tells me that no, this is like a person who kind of got some way into power that's unorthodox. Um, okay, what's this doing? Blend, multiply, addition, alpha mask, select a color, blue. I'm not seeing any changes. Oh, now I'm being moved. Great. Okay, close. That didn't. Okay, so that didn't do anything. Jeez. Filters. Image mask blend. Sorry, I'm like trying to find something to work with here, but nothing is like I'm putting these filters and nothing is happening. Weird. Uh, Luma key, render delay, scaling aspect ratio, by cubic. Why is it like literally doing nothing to it? I'm trying to put the filters on and it's doing nothing. Okay, that did something. Yeah, just get rid of all this. Shit. I had to be tired before showing up to this. I couldn't prepare. Ay, 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 ay. Okay, maybe. Phooey. Filters one more time. Hmm. Oh, that did something. I'm gonna play it, see what happens. Does this seem good? This seems good. You can't like see it very well, but I feel like you can kind of get an idea of what I'm watching. Unless it's like too intense, I could lower the opacity a little. Let's see. No, that actually makes it worse. Let me maybe change what's there. this? No, that's a little too that's too visible. I have a good idea now, but it's a little too visible. That's the issue. Let's see. Kanojo 2. SHIUNJI family, where are you? That's the wrong Kanojo 2. What the fuck? Mama 2. Family. Hmm. Yeah, maybe I'll stick with what I initially had. I think what I initially had worked. Then I can maybe move it here. Maybe do this. What would that? Oh, okay. That seems addition. No, that's too much. Subtraction. Multiply. And alpha channel. This one seems a tad risky. So I'm going to go with maybe this. That seems to be the cleanest I can maybe get it. Okay. This seems like a safe choice. Let me see if I can maybe just get a lighter color. Oh, too light, too light, too light. That's risky. I don't like that one. Hmm. How about you? Like this. Okay, just I feel like I'm close. I almost got it. Maybe this. Hmm. Okay, I think this could maybe work. I think this visually could maybe work. Yeah, hopefully, maybe. I'm really not sure. What do you guys think? Do you think this is something that could work the way I set it up, or do we need like a different picture to do this? Maybe. No, maybe something more. How about this? Yeah, I feel like this is blurring it a decent amount, and just in case, I'll make it like like this, maybe like a little smaller, just in case. Okay, this seems like it'll work. You can kind of see what I'm watching, but you're not getting spoiled on any, I'm not pissing off YouTube in some way, shape, or form. Sorry it took so long. I feel like this could work. Hopefully, this does not piss off YouTube. I put let me show you guys what I actually put here. Oh wow, it does it here too. That's no good. Hmm. Okay, I think for this then, what I'll do is delete and then addition. new display capture. Display capture 3. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, but when I go here, it's that. Perfect. Okay. So what I put over this is let me pull it up. This is what I put over it. Okay. So now we can get started proper. Now we can properly start. Let me go back to scene 1. Okay, I'll have to adjust this so I can have like a scene. Yeah, I'm gonna have to adjust all of these later. That sucks. But no worries. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, Bonri has the potential to rival Chizuru when it comes to popularity. Like when I'm on Twitter, damn, guess what they're doing? Lusting over Bonri, damn near licking the screen. Yeah, I'm aware. Bonri is intentionally written to be like the seductive character. She's intentionally written that way to kind of misdirect you from the fact that she does not have her shit together. And it's reflected in her clothing and how she's dressed. Reiji even says this. Remember the interview we read yesterday? Reiji intentionally says she's the closest thing to Chizuru, not just because of age, but because of how she acts and seemingly has her shit together, when in reality, Bonnery is kind of a fucking mess. I think Bondry is designed that way on purpose. And like, I remember when the manga came out, it was the same exact way. People lusted fucking hard over Bonri. Bonri in the manga is very attractive. Like, I think Bonri is really hot in the anime, but the manga Bonri is goddamn next level. Banra Mangi, manga Banri is next fucking level. She is very attractive young woman. It's kind of funny. I don't see that happening. The Kanokari series is more popular in my opinion, infamously undeservingly so. Um, I think you're misunderstanding what they're saying. People will be horny over Bonri in terms of, but because horny will like horny overcomes everything. I don't know if they'll like consider her the best character, mostly because Bonri doesn't really get the focus in this series that much. Like she doesn't Reiji splits his time with the characters very evenly. She's not gonna get like a shit ton of focus in this single season, especially if it's 12 episodes. She's not gonna get that much focus. Like Bonri kind of had her big arc so far, and she's not gonna get too much more. Now, it's something about seeing Bonnery's thighs in color that activates the no part in my brain. What the fuck? The jiggle physics in the opening, though. Oh yeah, no, that I did not like that. Okay, okay, we're gonna keep going. Okay, okay. Self-made interpreter. One thing I will say that the anime did for SHIUNJI Family is it made it a lot more palatable. Like they took out a lot of the weird, awkward shit Reiji usually does. And they kind of streamlined the characters in such a way to appeal to a lot more modern audiences. I think that's one thing they did. And it works in a lot of cases, but there are cases where they shoot themselves in the foot. And this is actually one of such cases. I'll show you in just a second, once we get like past this portion. But they actually fucked up a little bit without realizing. In particular, they slightly mischaracterize how Shion and the rest of the family sees Arata. And because of this, a later scene happens in this episode, that would have made perfect sense had it been the manga, but kind of doesn't make much sense when it's the anime because of the dialogue they removed in this particular scene. Yeah, so they okay, so let me show you what they changed here. Let me pull it up. Let me show you what they fucking changed here. Luckily I have the manga downloaded, so I can just open it whenever I damn well please. Manga, SHIUNJI Family Children. All right, so let's pull it up. Um, so he says, "There's nothing to be worried about. Well, I'm certain you have more pressure on you than me, the youngest son. Why don't you just go at your own pace?" Because he asks, uh, Shion, um, like how they dated, and he tells him, well, like okay, so this is some of the dialogue that was skipped. It starts with this, so this is the same. And he says, "At least tell me how you did it with Yuchun. That'll work." Well, with courage, obviously. Where did the courage come from? I've never seen anything like that in my 16 years of life. I found them at this one place. Okay. There's nothing to be worried about. Well, I'm certain you have more pressure on yeah, there's more pressure on you than me, the youngest son. Why don't you just go at your own pace? I'm not in a hurry. I just want a reference for when the time comes. Okay. So the dialogue is setting up a lot. They kind of removed a decent amount of this. Well, I'm pretty impatient though, although it was just because I wanted to experience what sex was like. They removed this. This is not in there. They completely took this piece of dialogue out and this discussion about sex. And then Arata said, how was it? Amazing. Okay. Oh, by the way, where did you do it? You know, the blue lenses are worthless, right? Like to show how Arata doesn't like he's pretending to be smart. He's a fucking idiot. It's not just the glasses, it's the lenses too. Um, idiot, I'm the eldest one here, you know, I can't be caught off guard by a sudden impulse or fate. Okay, they're already setting up this theme of fate. This is kind of also somewhat removed. And he says, that's my shinni. Okay, this is different. In the anime, the reason he says, oh god, don't play. He says, I just find it harder to believe that destiny isn't even a tiny bit real. In response, he says, that's our shinni. Okay, what's the problem here? The problem is that he says, I am the eldest one here, you know, I can't be caught off guard by the sudden impulse or fate. The scene is framed as a joke. The reason he says that's my shinni is because, oh, you're being reliable. Whereas in contrast, when he talks about the element of, you know, fate, although I distrust those that say fate doesn't exist, but I don't really believe in fate, what does he do in the manga? What does Shion do in the manga? He just stares at him. That mystical stuff is weird to him. And when Arata gets emotional and real like that, he doesn't know how to respond and he goes quiet. This to me somewhat mischaracterizes both Shion and Arata, because Shion saying that's my shinni is almost making fun of Arata, but also like actually acknowledging how reliable he is. Whereas in the anime, he's appreciating Arata being like so open and emotional and stuff like that. That dialogue cut to trim it like that is a case of those scenes where you kind of narrow down the intention. And even though it's small, like I know this seems really nitpicky. I know this seems really nitpicky, but it's stuff like that that kind of alters the dialogue and the intent of the scene. And it's gonna mess up. It's gonna mess with a later part in the episode, and I'll have to show you that when we get to it. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to point that out. Two boys having an early morning tata, not a TT, a tata, like a discussion, a talk. Adaptions are tricky. You can be too faithful, and then what's the point? But on the other side, you can take too many liberties and lose the narrative. I think they're walking like a very middle ground, a very kind of middle ground of how they're approaching this. I don't think it's particularly bad. Don't get me wrong. I don't think what they're doing here is particularly bad. I just think this is one of those cases where they didn't fully understand the intent of the scene, or maybe they wanted to reframe the scene. This wouldn't be particularly bad if it didn't like somewhat mischaracterize Shion, and not particularly Arata. Arata still says the same stuff, except for how he reacts to Shion, because he reacts like this when Shion says that, and he doesn't know why Shion says that. But in contrast, in the manga, he's very serious about this, and Shion can't respond. He doesn't know what to say, so he goes back to his game. Right? He deflects, he turns away. It's because Shion doesn't know how to deal with real emotional shit or real existential questions he doesn't have answers to. And I think it's just that slight mischaracterization that kind of don't accumulate recordings, right? With two or more, you can get a calendar, right? So like he deflects from that. I think in the anime doesn't. I don't remember the exact thing that happens in the anime where I'm just like, oh, this kind of contradicts what he said. But we'll get to that when we get to that. I'm liking the Shinji family history and all, but something bothers me. Arata's kind of controversial. He's a good-looking guy. He demonstrates confidence, but at the same time, he seems really insecure. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? That's the point. That's kind of the point of Arata's character. The point of Arata's character is that he can't actually be himself, because he has to be the perfect handsome guy. But then, even then, the perfect handsome guy is seemingly rejected. But then his sisters like the perfect handsome guy, and it's like, do you like Arata for him, or do you like him for being the cool handsome guy? And that's kind of part of the question of Arata's character. And they do trim out a decent amount, like how he reacts when he sees, like when he notices Aoka's cleavage. Um, like the scene is framed very intentionally morally gray, where Arata starts reacting and acting like a horny idiot teenager, in contrast to his usual demeanor. Whereas in the anime, he doesn't do that. He actually acts extremely mature and very under control, which makes Arata appear far more likable. In fact, I would argue the way the anime frames Arata is far more traditional than the manga does. In so doing, making him appear a lot more likable to very traditional audiences. I believe this is why people are standing the ever living shit out of Arata, in contrast to Kazuya, in contrast to like how Arata's being framed. Whereas in the manga, there is a double meaning to Arata's actions. There's layers to them. Whereas here, I feel like it's a tad bit more singular and easier to understand for that reason. They're very much taking the approach of, I want you to understand this manga as much as possible. And in so doing, they simplify it intentionally. And I think it is a smart approach, but it does kind of take away from the story a little bit. Anyways, let's keep going. Okay. Berserker. I hate that in the I hate that the Crunchyroll translations changed his name from Berserk. She literally says Berserk. The dog's name is Berserk, and she just goes with go Berserk, and then they name it like Vasalkal or something, some stupid fucking name, when she actually straight up calls it Berserk. P.S. If you want to know why the dog is named Berserk, it's because SHIUNJI family's being serialized in the same magazine as Berserk. Um, it's the same magazine as Berserk. That's why there's a dog named Berserk, because Guts' whole thing is he has like a dog monster thing. But yeah, I see. I don't know if it's one time, but Bonri did the Chizuru wink. Bonri does a lot of the mature shit that Chizuru does without any of the. She does it intentionally to be playful. I can actually see some Kazuya similarities in Arata's face when he's in trouble. It's because Arata is supposed to be like a reverse Kazuya. So a lot of people, when they initially saw Arata, they're just like, oh, it's just Kazuya with black hair. And initially that was kind of the vibe, but he definitely has like a more handsomeness to him, a subtle more handsomeness to him. Like let me pull up some more panels of Arata. Like it is Kazuya, but seemingly more mature. There's like a weird sense of maturity to Arata. There's a sense of sharpness and cleanliness to Arata that Kazuya doesn't quite have. Also, Kazuya's hair isn't quite like his. His hair seems kind of fancy, whereas Kazuya's has that like cute shapeness to his hair. Arata has that straight messiness to it. I mean, he's buff. Salute to those abs. Oh yeah, I know Arata's buff because his dad like worked him to the bone. It's almost kind of sad that Arata is buff because it's like, what would he be like if these things weren't drilled into him as a kid? Anyways, um, so yeah, we see the sisters. I like a lot more how the manga shows it. Of course, like I'm biased because okay, let me be real. Like I don't dislike the anime. I just think there's a lot more subtlety in the manga that the anime doesn't have. And then it goes through the sisters, and I like that. I also like how you can tell a lot about the sisters from seeing how they're presented. Aoka is immediately commenting on Arata and looking directly at you. She says, talking in secret with your brother, that's pretty sad coming from the heir of the SHIUNJI family. She focuses on expectations and how things should look, but she's looking directly at you and blushing, almost, like very traditional tsundere, but kind of there's a hidden meaning to that. Then you go to Siha. Siha, in contrast, is looking away but commenting on what you might be doing, reflecting her detachment as a character. She's literally looking at a book instead of you. These two characters fundamentally contrast. The conversation between men are usually divided into 10% hobbies, 30% men, 30% women, and 60% lewd topics. It shouldn't be hard to imagine what they're talking about. So that contrast is kind of important. She wants to connect, but fundamentally detaches. You see that in her demeanor, her glasses, her hair. Everything about her is like detached and almost ethereal. Let's go to Minami. Minami has her eyes closed, not really seeing the situation, not really seeing what's in front of her, and that's reflected in her literally failing a 60-30 sum. 90%, she gets a fucking 80, and that means it's 80% about women, and her eyes are closed, so she's a fucking idiot. She's not actually like paying attention. She's just kind of an airhead. And that the amount of words in contrast to her two other sisters also reflects how Minami doesn't need to say much, and yet she will capture attention. That attention is reflected in how she captures what's her name? Banri's attention, where Banri is turning to look at her. However, notice the contrast between Banri and her. Minami, full blush, eyes closed, very relaxed posture. Her hands are up like this. She's very just chilled, not caring. Look at Banri in contrast. Banri has a single eye open, just like Chizuru, so she's seemingly hiding something. There is a sweat drop, so she's kind of worried. And then there's a tad bit of a blush. But then look at her posture. She's holding herself, she's covering herself. Another thing I want you to notice is in contrast to Chizuru, despite this is kind of important. I really want to highlight this. The difference between Banri and Chizuru's characters, and it's reflected in their clothing. Bonnery covers up all the way to her neck. Like, she's completely covered up. She doesn't show herself. She's not like physically showing her cleavage or like her shoulders or like any real skin, except for like maybe her legs, right? She wears kind of like a shorter skirt, but it's not like a mini skirt. And that tells you a lot about her character, that she's seemingly covering up and hiding things. And then instead of like she's seemingly like looking, but she's not looking either, and she focuses instead on Minami instead of like commenting. Like I like how the conversation transitions, but instead she focuses on Minami and not like herself or expressing herself or really showing anything about herself, right? Every single sister has conveyed something about themselves in this moment, except for Bondri. Bondri is actually hiding here. She's not really showing herself, and that's reflected in her holding her shoulder because she feels actually kind of uncomfortable here. Despite Bondri seemingly being in control, she teases the sisters because she's the eldest, but she actually is hiding a lot here. And then finally, we see Kotno. who doesn't say anything, who is just kind of sudden, but her face is full of expression, right? You see Kono, her face is full of expression. And then in contrast, you have Arata and Shion, and that tells you, wait, there's something going on between them. And Arata and Shion don't take up as much space, but look at Arata's eyes and look here. This is not Kazuya anymore. When you see Arata in this isn't Kazuya anymore. Now he's suddenly a completely different fucking character. Even Shion doesn't really look like Mini Umi anymore. He looks like a completely different character. And I think that's kind of important to highlight that. I also want to point out like the differences in the character designs and how like Aoka has her hair tied up and you can see a lot behind her. In contrast, you have Siha, and you can't really see her hair; almost hides her. There's so much hair. Then you have Minami, which who wears like what is it? Her jacket, and her hair is short, but the shortness of her hair kind of makes her look like a guy. In contrast to Bonri, who has short hair, but it's very prim and proper, reflecting how she's more kind of messy and like very like it's already implying the sportiness to it, whereas Bonri looks very traditional and very cleanly trimmed, kind of implying to you already that she's in nursing. And then finally, you have the youngest who has like all these little traits to her, whether it be her eyes, her blush, the little sweat drop, or even the little thing on her hair, which gives you the idea that she's a lot younger and less proper than the other sisters. So yeah, there's a lot to break down here. Yeah, I actually want Kazuya's hair to be black. I think that would be interesting, but kind of weird. Oh yes. At the moment, I feel like when Kazuya is applying for jobs, he'll have to dye his hair black. I think when Kazuya starts properly applying for jobs, he'll dye his hair black because that is a thing. That is a thing. They want you to have like proper clean hair, so you have to dye your hair black. And a lot of stories have done this, so I think Kazuya will probably dye his hair black eventually. At the moment, Minami is the best fit for Arata, in my opinion. Very early on, I agree. Um, uh, Even then, I don't know. Every single sister has like a weird thing going on with Arata. I think Kono and Arata have like an interesting relationship, but she is too different from him. Minami makes him feel comfortable because she drags him into her own pace, which does make you wonder. Despite Minami kind of understanding him, he is being dragged into her own pace, kind of. And then Aoka, I don't think him and Aoka have like the best relationship. He kind of just saves Aoka a lot. Siha is a very interesting pairing with him in particular right now in the manga. I don't think Bonri is a good pair. I think there is some interesting stuff with Bonri, but she definitely feels very more elder sister mother kind of vibe. Okay. So yeah, see, she the dog's name is Berserk, and Reggie even makes him look like scary as shit. Uh, they cut this scene out from the anime, just like her dipshit face, her dipshit fucking face. They cut it out from the anime, but they have the laugh, and the laugh is fucking peak. The way the voice actress does Aoka's laugh is actually straight up fucking peak. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, they still kind of have it, but not really. The laugh. The laugh is so peak. Oh, this part is interesting. What the fuck are they talking about here? Seriously, you barely escaped being thrown into room 8 for that, you know. What the fuck does that mean? Do they say that in the manga? What the fuck does that mean? Really? That was one step away from the eighth room case. The eighth room, see no at the end of the chapter. Okay, let's skip to the end of the chapter, see what the heck they're talking about. Okay. See facts number one. See how it affects. Yes, this is because those idiots at the scantillation team didn't know what they were doing and translated this chapter all wrong, so they had to redo it as a whole. Bunch of lazy guys, am I right? Uh, well, we are not here to trash on them. What's going on? Who guessed? So since Minami said case, it could be the nth room case. This case that happened in Korea changed the laws of the country forever. And if you want to know more about this case, just go to the Wikipedia and search for it. I'm tired right now, and I still need to go to the. What the fuck? Okay, that didn't tell me anything. That was fucking useless. This doesn't take place in Korea. This takes place in Japan. So why would Korean laws be relevant here? That's good. That's stupid. Like unless Reiji openly said that, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. Anatomically correct, silly anime faces would be scary as fuck. Oh yeah, no, that'd be weird. You mean these like shit like this? That would be weird. God, I am tired. Oh man, I am fucking tired. I guess that's what happens when you like go do an 8 hour shift and then come home and you gotta fucking stream. Oof, I am beat. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh wait, almost started the episode. Oops. Hmm. This is the kind of shit where like Reiji is keenly aware of like people saying, "Oh yeah, this is just an incest manga." Here, the detrimental effects of inbreeding has genetics are common knowledge. Just shut the fuck up, you guys are idiots. El Moto, hello Thunder Tactics, welcome. Lusting after your sister is highly illogical, especially from a procreation standpoint. Good thing you're not his sister. There's more to the human. Yeah, and then they have this like conversation where it's like there's more to the human psyche than science can explain. And it's like one is arguing with facts and logic, the other wants to argue with like the unexplainable and the things that we don't understand. And I think that's kind of fascinating to reflect the contrast between Bonri and Siha, these two characters where like it's almost implying to you Bonri has a better understanding of people and love than Siha does, but it's also telling you something's up with Bonri because she's not looking at things logically. There's a double meaning to this scene because like Bonri isn't like yeah yeah, this scene with the boobs, Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I think it's kind of important um that people can't be analyzed by science alone. Even our precious logic princess must have someone she likes, right? No, there isn't one. Oh my, look at her blushing. My second and third sisters are so innocent, and then she comes after both of them. See how she like toys with everybody and messes with them? She essentially intentionally plays devil's advocate. That's kind of Bonri's whole thing. She plays devil's advocate, and I think that reflects her own character how she's supposed to be kind of the devil of the story because she knows more than she's letting on, and yet she lets the chaos keep ensuing. I also noticed she has the reverse eyebrows of Arata. Her eyebrows are the reverse, and I think Bonri is the real daughter of this family, not Arata. Which actually tells you a lot. That means Bonri is like the actual child of this family. She's the true heir. But for some reason, Arata is getting it and not her. Bonnie's character could explore second love theory and how it impacts someone. What's second love theory again? You guys really think that way? In all truth, I think Shinny's a great guy. Oh, as expected of my favorite sister. Thanks. Punches him, just knocks him the fuck out. And she's just like, I'm sorry, I was just playing Smash before this. And that part makes me so sad because in the anime, she doesn't say she was playing Smash. I'm like, damn it. How could you, you son of a gun? Okay, let's continue. The way they animate this is brutal. I wish I could show it. The way they animate this is brutal. It's just boom, just god damn. You like look at Arata's face. You feel the fucking pain she just inflicted. God damn. God damn. That was not the nth room thing nods to sex crime ring that happened in 2019. 70 young women, a few of them minors, essentially a more aggressive policing of explicit content. But what does that have to? I guess Kono is a minor, but they said eighth room, not the nth room, which because there's 7 siblings. So what's the eighth room, right? It's almost implying like it's something you should know. If they said the nth room, if they intentionally said the nth, unless you say um eight like n, but I don't think you do. Does 8 in Japanese sound like n? No, the Japanese for wait, hachi does not like does yeah, it's hachi. So I don't know why they thought it was like N. I don't get that. They were implying it in the end chapter thing you read early. I don't get it though. I read that. It didn't make any sense. Like here, we'll read it again. Okay. Our house is really big, so it could have been of the dozens of rooms we have, and Arada went lovey-dovey with Kono on the eighth one. Pervert incest is forbidden. Um, or two, something is fucked up. Not a single one of you could have guessed. Something so fucked up, not a single one of you could have guessed. So since Minami said case, it could have been the nth room case. Did she said case? This case that happened in Korea changed the laws of the country forever. And if you want to know more about this case, just go to the Wikipedia and search for it. Or I'm tired. Okay. So what does the eighth room mean? Well, it's a writer of the story, and my writer actually hasn't clearly enough with this line, so it could have been two meanings. Okay, so it's just a guess. We don't know. We don't know. I feel like the eighth room is supposed to imply something more than that. Um, but let's see what Minami says. She said she apparently said case. Really that was one step away from the eighth room case. Huh. Okay. But she says it differently in here. Seriously, you barely escaped being thrown into the eighth room for that, you know. So she says it differently here, unless this is a translation issue. Beats me. Yeah, maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. I can kind of see what they mean now. Oh my god, I'm actually getting really tired. I don't have that much energy today. I didn't sleep very well. Um yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of debating taking a break from this, especially considering I've already seen episode 1 and I'm not in the mood to rehash it. So I'm kind of debating taking a break. I'm sorry. Like at least from this, maybe we can do something else. But I'm just I feel really burned out. I guess I'm not used to streaming this much yet, but yeah, I guess if we'd watched the newer episodes, I might have liked it more. But I guess right now I'm just a little tired. Um, no, it's not a bad idea per se. Like I just maybe it's just today. It's just today feels like a weird day, and I just wasn't feeling it. It's not anything you guys did. Um, but yeah, I guess I'm just tired. I think I would have just liked to do something new. Yeah, I was thinking of watching the newer episodes, but it just feels a little weird right now. I guess I can try because I've watched this episode God knows how many times now. Okay. I guess we'll. So yeah, I guess we're just going to episode 3 like intentionally planned. And I guess I'll just watch it for now. Okay. Brushing his teeth. Wow, the detail. Okay. I wonder what that's like in the manga now. I'm very curious. So Rara saw his older sister. They said Ohayo, good morning. Okay, I think this is chapter 9. Could be wrong. Come on, load for me, baby. Okay, no, not chapter 9. Probably 8 then. Oh. I do vividly remember this scene. Maybe it's chapter 7? That doesn't make sense. Chapter 7 is when they go to the park. Unless this is an extra scene. Or I'm even more wrong. Is this even further back? Chapter 5 is. Yeah, okay. So we saw chapter 5. Chapter 6. Weird. Yeah, this must be an extra scene then. This feels familiar though. I feel like I've seen this. It says YouTube is receiving buffering issues. Something is going on with the stream, low quality or something. Weird. Okay. As long as everything's fine, then I'll just keep going. What? What's the thing with the Maserati logo with that forge thing? What the heck are you talking about? I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, Lawless Bacon. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going with the episode. Ran into each other a bunch since then. She's been acting perfectly normal. Ha 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 ha. Okay, now I'm happy. She just straight up said Shoryuken. She just straight up said Shoryuken. Now I'm fucking happy. Good job, guys. Good job. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Just straight up just Shoryuken. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, these extra scenes are cute. They don't seem completely out of character. So they played Street Fighter last night. Damn, get wrecked. Oh, she called him senpai in front of Siha. That's interesting. What the fuck? This is a whole bunch of new content. None of this is in the manga. All right. Am I crazy or is none of this in the manga? Am I fucking crazy or is none of this in the manga? I must be losing my shit or they must have moved some shit around. They must have moved some stuff around. Because none of this is in the fucking manga. Okay. Yeah, the Minami chapter, that was last episode. And then they just go to Disney World. Yeah, what the fuck? None of this shit's in the manga. That's crazy. That's a lot of extra content. Uh, okay. Now they're just linking Aoka's confession to when she confesses when they go to the place. And then she does it here in his ear to like so they can foreshadow that. What the fuck? Okay, this is weird. It's not like bad or anything, just weird. I just think Nagatoro when I heard the word senpai lol waiting for season 3 anyway. Continue. Okay. Weird. Why would I? It was decided for him. Dosu. Oh, she said major L. Why did they use that? Why did they all she said was dosu, which means lame. Why did they why did they say major L? It's like they're trying to be trendy and it's just kind of sad. Like I get it, it does work. It's more like in line for our writing, but she just said lame. Okay. Oh yeah, they kept the name the same. It's called NC because okay, so they're going to Disney World, but then they called the park NC, which might seem weird, but it's based on a song they sing there. So like, and it's only a song you would hear in that specific park, in that Disney World park. So it's kind of cool actually. Hmm. Okay, now I'm kind of having some doubts. So this is still all new to the manga. And she turned beet red talking about him, which I don't know how to feel about that. Now I do know the second writer, Reiji number 2, was also involved in this, in the production of this. So maybe he okayed it, but it felt a little weird. Hmm. I don't know. I don't think it's bad. It just felt weird. With me, see tomorrow. Okay, and then yeah, they get to it. Wow, they made it. Hit. Damn, now I'm hungry. They're gone. When you look at it like this, Arata and Banri do seem like a good pair. When you look at it like this, Arata and Banri do seem like a good pair. They ate all the food. I think one thing people don't realize about how this manga is written is how Arata often commentates on the sisters. In particular, the way he does it doesn't feel natural. But I think it's because around this time, a lot of people were telling Reiji his manga is hard to understand, and they were referring to Rent a Girlfriend. So I think this is his intent. This is him trying to make it as palatable for people as possible. It's basically baby mode Rent a Girlfriend. He's trying to make it as easy to digest for as many people as possible, and making a lot of very traditional and very common things, while there's actually a lot of complicated writing underneath a lot of it. So like you feel a sense of comfort initially watching this series, but there's a lot underneath this. So I just really want to point that out. Like there is some unnatural dialogue here, in particular Arata sometimes like commenting on things in a way that just feels kind of off. Like it's like, okay, but he should already know this. Why does he need to tell me all this? And you know it's specifically written just for you as the viewer, but it's because Reiji's trying to help people kind of understand the story a little better, because people readers tend to not be as smart, unfortunately. Boobies. Damn, Bonnery, chill. The deliveries peak. Stop. Bunry. Fucking stop. Bunry's great, dude. She's so funny. That's great. Ow. I felt that. Damn. They did a good job with that. Damn. That's some Chizuru shit. That's some Chizuru shit, bro. Dude, that is some shit Chizuru would pull. Well, like in terms of the posing and the presentation, I mean, I think that was very intentional. Let me see how it looks in the manga. It should be chapter 6. Yep, there it is. Damn. Damn. I also want to point out something kind of cool about this. I love how she's all shadowed out, and I love how Bonri's outfit is literally the same outfit with the same top, except she cut her shoulders. That's it. Everybody else is dressed completely differently except for her, and I think that's so interesting. Harada can't handle rides for shit. You got mail. Poor Arata. You're one to fucking talk. Aw. Poor Arata. He ate too much food. I think that line's kind of important. She's got such an innocent smile when she drops the koi act. It's because she's kind of the reverse of Chizuru. Chizuru acts to show, and in the act, she shows her real self. Bonri is the opposite. Bonri doesn't. Bonri acts to hide her real self. A part of Chizuru's real self comes out in the act. Bonri like constantly fakes shit. Like Bonri's fake as shit. I think that's kind of important to recognize. Okay. Um, let's keep going. Hmm. She's always been the coolest. Damn. The animation, what the fuck, dude? They gave him like this extra crazy pose and how cool he looks. Cool big bro moment. What the fuck? Okay, I've started to see the Chizuru parallels pretty well. Let's see how this. Oh my god, let's. Yeah, there it is. Rector. Damn, bro. Damn. That was the first time we like in the manga that we saw Bonnery fucking crack. It's like, ah, there it is. But I can't quite pin my finger down on it, but Bonri doesn't feel like a similar character to Chizuru. I think she just has the adult factor that's similar to Chizuru, but she's not. She's not Chizuru. It's not just because she's playful and coy, or like she has some parallels in that she wants to like protect what she has, but I don't know. Something Bonri's different. I think right now I'm just too tired, or maybe I haven't like read the manga enough to express it well. Aw, cute. Oh yeah, they skipped the part where. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They skip shit. Yeah, look at this. He goes to talk to the mom, and she's still flabbergasted. It seems that he's grown up quite a bit. Yeah, no, she doesn't think that until a little bit later. I think her change of reaction in the anime is a little too fast. A little too fast. While it is like fast paced in the manga too, I think there's just a little bit more time to marinate because you see the sisters come back, they interact, they have a conversation, and then afterwards she reacts like that, and that's how the chapter ends. In contrast to Arata, can you hold your hand? Why? I'm not. Why not? I'm your older sister, right? So she wants to like hold his hand in the end, but he's being kind of childish. I think there's a bit of contrast and play with this scene, but in the anime they make it more traditional again. It's not bad, but again, that's kind of what they do. Look at Minami pose, bro. Damn, Minami. Is it the same in the manga? Nope. Nope. They went extra. They're like, yo, let's give Minami the best fucking pose. Ruka, Ibanri, same age. No, they're not. Canonically, we don't know Ruka's age. Canonically, we don't know Ruka's age. It's assumed by a lot of people that Ruka would be 18 by this point, but we don't know. She could be 17. Um, we don't know Ruka's age. Uh, we only could know because she might be finishing college soon. Or she might be finishing not college, high school soon. That's what it's implied. But she could still be 17. Um, and even then, we don't actually know her age, which means canonically at the story, like if you think about it like that, Ruka would have been 15 at the start of the story. But we don't know her age, and Reiji intentionally avoids her age for a lot of different reasons. They made it like this big emotional thing. Hmm. Okay. Damn. The composition and the lighting. Huh. Yeah. Ooh, I remember this. Mm-hmm. The wording. Don't get impressed. Hmm. Oh yeah, this is when they tell you what happened in the game room. Wow. The removal of sound, the delivery of the dialogue, the way each character speaks in such a unique way, impressive. actually impressive. Like even if the like you get like even if you get shots like this where it's like it's not the cleanest thing in the world, it's still effective in how it's being conveyed. I actually really like how they handled this scene. It really sucks you in. That this is good directing. Yeah, what did you talk about? She says that they were all orphans and her parents were not known, but only her parents weren't known. Everyone else's parents were known. But that's weird because if you go to oh, maybe they adopted her as a baby? That might make some sense. Oh, that explains why they said she was the first one. Okay. I thought it was implied that Bonri was the actual child because they showed the mother or the dad's wife holding her as a baby. I thought that implied that she was the real child. But but that would make sense that she's not because she doesn't have either of their hair color. Because both the dad and the mom have like brown hair. So yeah, okay, and maybe that's why Arata is the actual heir because he's the actual son. Could be. I could be wrong. As long as Arata doesn't intend to give in, you want to develop anything crazy if we just keep an eye out. Um, these are straight up JoJo. These are just straight up JoJo effects. These are literally just JoJo effects. Like straight, it's literally menacing, menacing, It's just JoJo effects. It's the fucking JoJo effects. What the shit? Love it. They're ready to go to war. Me too, buddy. I'm also beat. Oh wow, they're gonna have Aoka's confession in the same episode as the one where she says "I love you" in his ear. They added that entire sequence in just to tie Aoka's confession in the very end. Wow, they wanted to straight up bookend this episode. That's crazy. Every time Arata says nothing's gonna change, story bet bet. Aw. Oh, never mind. No Aoka confession. Straight to the ending. No, but there's an extra sequence. Yep. Yep. It's still gonna happen. Okay, okay, okay. Yo, agree. No. The confession. She looks so much like Chizuru in this shot in the manga. And that's it. That's where the episode ends. Shit, all right. Wait, and it happens in chapter 7? That's wild. It happens in chapter 7. That's when she confessed. That's wild. Yeah, she looks so much like Chizuru here. God, look at Arata. He's such a handsome little fucker. This is not Kazuya. Like when you see shit like this is not Kazuya. Like initially Arata looked like Kazuya, but then you see this and you're like, oh, that's not Kazuya. No, no way in hell. Okay. I don't know. Do we want to keep going? Are we liking the format? I don't seem to be really engaging with you guys nearly as much as like yesterday when we were reading. So I don't know if we want to like keep going with this format, if we like what's happening here. Is this fun? Is this like interesting? Cuz I don't know. I got to know what you guys are thinking. What are you feeling, you know? Um how long have we been screaming? Hour and 33 minutes. Wow, really? And we only got through like an episode and a half in that whole time? Brutal. Let me check if there's been like any updates on Twitter or anything. Hmm. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Uh let's see. I think that the read manga is more interesting. Yeah, I agree. I could do that. We could do that if you want. We could read the SHIUNJI family. That's something I could do. Yeah, maybe today isn't the day if you're feeling it. If you're not feeling it, it's fine. I'm just a little tired. We could keep going a little more. It's 5:40 right now. I could keep going until 6. If you guys want, we can read the manga for the SHIUNJI family if that sounds more interesting to you. Because that I would be more involved in stuff like that. So I guess we could try that. Like I don't mind doing that. That sounds fun. And I could watch it on my own time and then strike comparisons. That could be a little more fun. 7.5. There's a 7.5 chapter? What the fuck? What's in chapter 7.5? Oh, this must be the volume. So these are the end of the volume. So this is the opening of the volume. Do you have brothers or sisters? The project was born out of the desire to draw a manga with the theme of siblings, something that is rarely seen in Konokari. Oh, that's a really cute cover. Growing up together as a family for their whole lives before suddenly finding out they're someone else entirely. They may become enemies or perhaps allies. I myself have two brothers. The new work, Children of the SHIUNJI Family, first volume, will be released July 15th, and the series will be completed in 13 volumes. Oh, wow. Reiji outright tells us 13 volumes is the end. That's crazy. I think we're at like volume 5 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think we're at 6 volumes. We're almost halfway through the series. That's fucking crazy. I didn't realize that. That's sick. Actually, I forgot that. I forgot that Reiji said it's going to be uh 13 volumes. Okay. That's pretty interesting, actually. Let's make sure. Yeah. Um, 13 volumes. I'll have the ending decided by then. It's strange but warm. It seems like a coincidence, and it makes me feel like Fate too. There's that little Fate theme again, eh? We hope that the ephemeral and forever sparkling youth of such brothers and sisters will become a pleasure in your daily life. Thank you very much. Regime Ijime. Hmm. I'm happy to have the opportunity to participate with drawing this manga. Oh yeah, this is the other Reiji. This is a Reiji 000. Um uh Thank you to everyone I'm told in various places, but it has turned out that my name is the same as Miyajime Sensei's. I'm sorry it looked like a phonetic spelling. It is not my original drawing. It is similar to Miyajime Sensei's. Oh, this is his art. That's cool. And I do my best every day. Please stay with us until the final chapter. Reiji Yukino. Oh yeah, and these people like do the colorings. That's interesting. Less copyright BS from YouTube. Save the anime reactions for Patreon. Yeah, see, even he thinks so. So I think I will save the anime reactions for Patreon. It does seem a little easier, and I can record it in my own time, in my own pace, a little bit more comfortably, you know. Because like I hate having to watch myself constantly while trying to record that stuff. Like I tried recording like that for the Rent a Girlfriend anime. I guess for Rent a Girlfriend, we can watch when season 4 comes out, we'll still watch them here. Um, just because I've already read the manga, so I can just share my reactions, and I'll be watching them regularly. Um, I think for the season 4, we'll watch them here. I think for season 4, I'll still make time to watch them with you guys just to share how I feel. I'll watch them that way for the first times. Is Twitch more flexible to watch animes? No, it's the same. It's the same. There's no difference. I'm sorry. There's unfortunately no difference. Um, it's really kind of the same. You have to just kind of get the license from the anime studios, and if you don't get it, you're fucked. They will ban the ever living shit out of you. And it's very brutal. One time the creators tried to watch anime on Twitch as like a boycott against anime studios because they didn't like what they were doing, and they still got fucking banned, right? And they were like really big streamers, and they still got banned. So I'm just not gonna risk it. It's not worth it. But when Rent a Girlfriend season 4 comes out, we will watch it here. I'll do that at the very least. Maybe I'll catch up to SHIUNJI Family on my own, and then, well, wait. Yeah, SHIUNJI Family's a little more rough, I think. SHIUNJI Family's a little more rough because SHIUNJI Family comes out with the chapter. It comes out with the release of our chapters. So I guess I'll keep SHIUNJI Family for Patreon because it's our secondary series. It's not the main series of my channel, you know? So I will still react to chapters when they come out, but SHIUNJI Family, I'll keep it to Patreon, and I think that's perfectly fine. But for Rent a Girlfriend, when the anime comes out, I'll watch it here. I will watch the anime here with you guys. I will go through the rest of the anime um on Patreon. That'll be like a good rewatch thing to do maybe. Or we could somehow rewatch it here. I don't know. I'll figure out how to do season 1 through 3 again because I will have to rewatch them regardless, but for now, I do think we'll just read maybe 2 chapters from SHIUNJI Family and we'll go from there. Resuming series. Oh yeah, it took a break. It took a break after chapter 7 and then they continued. Don't you get it? It's just like looking at any other girl, huh? What are you talking about? I'm just saying, not knowing that we're not blood related. I'm just saying now, knowing that we're not blood related, siblings, genetically speaking, we're just close friends of the opposite sex. But even without knowing that, Kono already said she loves you. I don't see them that way. Do you? I already have. I already have you. Oh, so he's already dating the girl. Since when did you start calling her by her first name? Since yesterday. Did something happen? Something is always happening. Why is there always something happening? I get more excited every day, you know. I talked to Oka about Kono. Huh? To her? She would never believe a thing I say. She'd never believe a thing I say. Please trust your former twin. From the start, she never thought you would do anything like that. She thinks so? She's really a tsundere, isn't she? Oh my god, they're just outright saying it. I love it. She's literally the tsundere of the story. I love it. They're just blatantly saying it now. I love Aoka Oni-chan too. I told you the day before yesterday, didn't I? We've been siblings for 16 years. Being told now that we're not blood related doesn't change the fact that we still are siblings. Still, when the guys in the class hear about this, they're gonna go crazy, announcing the start of the rom-com about living together with 5 beautiful girls. The Blu-rays are gonna be a hit. Stop saying that. For the sake of Dad's company, we have to keep this family secret. Don't worry, I wouldn't take it that far. I'm just joking. Ugh, a rom-com, huh? I'd want to live in one for sure. If something like this that even exists. I like you. She looks so much like Chizuru here. What the effing shit? Huh? What? Well, I just wanted to say that. I'm usually a bit of pain in the ass, aren't I? Even with the whole blood related relation thing and all, I think I'm happy that I'm your twin, you know? Closes her eyes like Chizuru. Fucking hell. She's literally pulling the tsundere bullshit. I will say this though. I like that the manga doesn't have all these extra scenes to foreshadow to you that Aoka is going to do this. I get they wanted to bookend it and that's perfectly fine. But in terms of the manga, I do like that it's a lot more hidden and subtle that Aoka has feelings for Arata, especially when she does this and then deflects by giving this entire spiel about like, oh, I'm on your side and all that, and like you're the other son. I still care for you. You're still my twin. I love you as my brother and shit like that. Um, but in reality, it's actually like misdirecting from the fact that she actually meant that, and I think that's so interesting. Because if you watch the anime, you're like, oh, she totally likes him. But here there is a hint of doubt, right? Here there's a hint of doubt here, and the anime still kind of has that a little bit, but I do think this is interesting all the same. Um, Even the blood relation thing and all, I think I'm happy that I'm your twin. You know, I heard about what happened with you and Kono from Shion. As the eldest son, I think you handled it really well. Kono's still young. It wasn't really anyone's fault. She scared me. She meant that she likes me as a person, but why the long pause? Literally having a Kazuya moment. I love it. I suppose as we are twins, it's just natural. Heaven and hell would have to switch places for me to look at her as just another girl. Shion's words just before just came to my mind. You really are a tsundere, you know? Who are you talking about? I love it. I have to go to the toilet. Can you tell Siha that I like the blue one? What are you talking about? Souvenirs. I should have eaten another churro. They were delicious. Yeah, the way she poses here, it's like she let something off her chest. I can't believe she said something like that. But then again, perhaps she's worried about our relationship after finding out we're not related by blood. But man, her Japanese is really awful. Study your grammar. It's so funny. He's a grammar stooge. Don't you get it? It's just like looking at any other girl. Ah, shit! What the hell am I thinking about? I like you. Yeah. See, and suddenly you're like, oh, what the fuck? She was serious. She said, I like you, Konoha to Arata in the bathroom. She's like, Konoha hugged him as well, right? Idiot. Why did I have to say something so gross like that, right? She's just literally being a tsundere. And I think it's important that these characters literally fall into these tropes. These characters quite literally fall into these tropes. It's by design because they cannot escape their tropes. Whereas Rent a Girlfriend is a subversion of tropes, these characters are literally tied down by their tropes. The sun rises, Shiunji name plaque. Wow. So this is the place. Yeah, and this is Bonri. This is the mom holding Bonri, and I just realized Bonri dresses exactly like her. What the shit? Bonri wears the neck covering and the arms just like her. What the hell? The only difference is Bonri has short hair, whereas the mom has long hair. Rent a Girlfriend has one of the best uses of the liar revealed. Training room. Hobby, weight training. Interesting. Ah, Shinni. Hey, Minami, you're quite hardworking, aren't you? It's just my routine. Sunday mornings are the best for weight training, aren't they? Oh, sorry. Can you hold back your adrenaline a bit? I haven't warmed up yet. That's so funny. Anyways, isn't it a bit early? Usually you start at 9. Well, I woke up early. Keep your health up. Started with getting a good night's sleep, you know. Sorry, it's still early. Please shut the fuck up, Arana. Though, aren't you the diligent one, Shinni? It's not like you're planning to be a professional, aren't you? Well, we use our bodies for everything, don't we? I've been doing this since I was little. I feel calmer when I do it. That's so interesting. It's literally been drilled into him and he feels comfort in it despite that. Even though it's not really his, he finds comfort in it. And recently I've had a lot of I'll have a lot of weighing on my mind. You said management starts with self-management after all. Father trained you really hard, all right? As the eldest son. Burpees. Oh my shit, he made him do burpees. Those things are brutal. I used to do burpees. That shit was insane. I fucking hated it. We both used to stay up late, didn't we? Thinking about it now, persisting through insomnia is probably the worst thing I've done for my health. But still, you're the only one who's never missed a day of training. Oh, I guess I ought to skip sometimes. I think that's the type of person who'll succeed. I honestly admire that. Aw. I don't know. It's probably just my genes. That's not funny. Shion might know something about that. And the reveal, she heard everything. Wasn't it the blue one? Does Aoka want the purple one? Where are those two? Oka-chan and Jinni. Don't you want me to go and find them? Yeah, by all means. Hmm. Ah, I found them. Those two. Hey, I like you. Damn. I love how they did that. And then she runs away. She gets freaked out and runs away. I love how they drew her here. She looks like such a mess. Ba-dum. To be continued. The way he draws her is so cute. Suddenly, this character who's like all goofy and shit is like very cute and adorable. And it's in a very different way. I think that's really cool. Real trope. That crap is usually so painful. Okay. Yeah, no, Reiji's keenly aware. He's actually, if in many ways, directly criticizing this manga. Like in a lot of ways, his writing is both like playing into this and directly criticizing it. That's actually exactly the point. Okay. What time is it? It's 5:56. I was thinking of ending the stream at around 6 because I'm just a little tired today. So we got like 4 minutes. Let's see if there's been anything new anywhere. Here's one of the animators for the SHIUNJI family anime posting this, which is really pretty, very cool. I guess I can just share some of that stuff. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know what to do for like the last 4 minutes or so. I don't want to start like a whole new chapter if we're just gonna take a break for today. What would you guys like? What would you like to do for like the last 4 minutes of our stream for the day? I'd hope to go on a little longer, but I'm just not feeling it. Feeling pretty burned out. Oh, careful. I'm seeing stuff I should not be seeing on here. Um, I guess I could tell you guys to join the Discord. I do have a Discord. That would be fun. If you guys join the Discord. I'm wondering how much this is buffering. Because I don't know how much the video is buffering. Like how behind are you guys? What do you I guess there's no way for you to actually know how behind you are. All right. Well, in other news, one thing I really want to work on is a while back I recorded a video for chapter 364. And it was a really interesting video that I never got to put out. So I was thinking of like editing that and hopefully getting it out by Monday or so. So that's one thing I'm thinking of doing. I'll probably like try to get that out by Monday and see if we can get that video out before um, the next chapter drops. But I think I'll try to limit how much I stream. Maybe I'll stream either twice a week or 3 times a week. I'll figure it out. I don't want to stream too much because I can tell I can already get burned out. But at the very least, I want to do it twice. Once when the chapter comes out, and then a second time, either Wednesday or Thursday, to read through people's reactions to the chapter and what they had to say. And then I would do another stream if there's a lot of information to talk about, if there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. And then when the anime comes out, we can start doing more streams because I'll probably have to stream the anime. You know, we'll sit through the anime. I can talk about it. I can point out certain things, see if they did what they did right, what they did wrong. God, does that mean we're gonna watch chapter 218 together? Oh boy, are you ready? Are you ready? That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be pretty fun. Um, yeah, so I guess that's it for this. I hope you guys at least kind of had some fun. It felt a little awkward. I guess it's because I hadn't like properly read the SHIUNJI family. I guess that's another thing we can do. I could read through the SHIUNJI family with you guys, or I could read it on my own time. Really depends. I'll have to figure it out. But I don't mind reading it with you guys. That could be fun. Have you ever tried putting a nostalgia critic twist on your videos, like fill it with hopefully funny skits? Uh, I actually can do that already, but that requires writing it first. You know, Nostalgia Critic writes his stuff beforehand. Granted, he doesn't actually write his stuff anymore, from what I recall, or something like that. I don't remember what happened with him. I just know something happened with him. Or was it the angry video game nerd that doesn't write his own shit anymore? I don't remember. I just know something happened with both of them. I actually used to have a friend who used to be a huge fan of Nostalgia Critic. And I actually met him. I actually met Nostalgia Critic. I went to a con once, and I met him in person, and I tried to take a picture with him with my friend. And after I took the picture, he fucking bolted because I didn't meet him in a panel. I met him while he was just sitting down eating lunch, and I think he knew if I took a picture with him, someone else was gonna show up. So he just started moving. The dude just started running. Um, I don't know I don't really watch him, so I can't comment on him. I just recall there was a lot of controversy around him and his company and how he treated people in his company. That's all I know. That's it. I haven't kept up with him. I don't know. I don't remember any other particular details. But yeah. Um so yeah, I can actually do funny skits and shit like that, but like not I won't like commit super hard to them. I more so like doing jokes. I more so like doing like certain kinds of jokes and stuff like that. And that does come with having to write a script first rather than just, wing it like I do. But we'll see, we'll see, we'll see. So yeah, I think that's it for today. Sorry for the slightly short stream. I guess it was about like 2 hours for the stream. There isn't as many people too. I think that's another perspective. Just like, okay, not many people are really watching. Not many people are really interested in this. Most of you guys are probably here for like winter girlfriend stuff. So talking about the SHIUNJI family doesn't seem to be as interesting to people. So at the very least, I'll read the SHIUNJI family. Um, can't wait for the Sunday stream. Oh, you mean for tomorrow to do the hate video watch? That one is gonna be weird. I'm not sure how I will go about that one because I get off work at 4. Um, Today I got off at like 2:30, and that gave me an hour before I could start the recording. Um, but but tomorrow I get off at 4. I don't know why they fucked with my schedule. Stupid work. Um, so that I don't know how I would record that. But hopefully I'm not too tired and we can sit through it. Uh, yeah, I'll still try to do the stream tomorrow. And we'll see how that goes. So I guess for today I'll try to take the time to rest so that tomorrow I'm not too tired and we can do that stream. Okay, with that said, thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already joined the Discord, consider joining the Discord. I'm here for you, regardless of the content. That sounds hokey. Hokey, yeah. Thanks. Um, yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Again, join the Discord if you haven't already. I appreciate you for joining this. And remember, let's mosey. I'll see you guys at some point. Not sure when.